Hello, my name is Samantha Gibson. I'm an AmeriCorps Vista worker at the Augsburg Central Health Commons. Here today with Taylor. Would you introduce yourself for the recording, please?
Hi, I'm Taylor Mattice.
I just wanted to reaffirm your consent now that you're willing to have this recording, this interview, and the transcript stored at Augsburg University where it will be made available to the public.
Yes, I am.
I want to note also for this recording that we are recording at the Augsburg Central Health Commons, so if there's any background noise, that would be why. To get us started today, could you please tell me where you're from, where you grew up, and who you called family?
I'm from Lino Lakes, Minnesota. It's a small suburb just north of Minneapolis. I have a mom and a dad and a sister. Do you have their names? No? Okay.
How did you end up at Augsburg University?
I applied there and was deciding between there and another school, the University of Minnesota. I decided to go to Augsburg because of its size and because I could play softball there.
How did you become involved with the Health Commons?
I took a class with the president of the university, and he had us come volunteer a shift here as part of our class requirements, and then I enjoyed it, so I continued coming back.
Why was it part of the class requirements?
In the class, we're learning about like the gap between rich and poor, and just like going a lot of places to see what it's like to be homeless or to experience homelessness. So coming here and seeing how Katie works with them was something he wanted us to do.
What can you tell me about your experiences here at the Health Commons?
I think it's been really eye-opening. Just learning from Katie things that I never really have thought of before, like basically with mental health mostly. She talked a lot about how we always think that it's necessary to force medicate people and get them into hospitals, get them institutionalized, but it's like her thought process is, why are we right and why should they have to be what we think they need to be? Why can't we just help them be what they want to be? And that's something that was really cool to start thinking about because, like, yeah, who says we're more right than they are, you know? And in addition to that, it's just kind of awesome to be able to see the same people like a couple times a week and just check in. They say, like, see how their day's going. Get to know them. Some of them have told me stories about their lives, and it's really cool just how open they've been with the short amount of time I've been here. Yeah.
It sounds like an interesting shift in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
How did your experience here fit or challenge your expectations then?
I think I don't really know if I had expectations. I like knew what it was kind of like Katie was helping people, but I expected more like actual nursing to be done, but it's more just like support and yeah, we'll check your blood pressure and whatnot. But this space, it seems like it just like fosters an environment for her to form relationships with people and everyone who's volunteering to form relationships with people too. So I guess it challenged it in that it was more of like the one-on-one like interactions between people rather than, oh, you're sick, let me help you and get you this prescription. Like Katie can't do that. So yeah.
How well do you think your experience at Health Commons relates to what you were learning in that class you said first brought you here?
I think it relates a lot. They specifically didn't have us talk a lot about the health background of people who are experiencing homelessness. Katie came and talked to us about that a few times, but it's just kind of crazy to see the amount of things that they go through, like things like being sick that are easy for people who aren't experiencing homelessness to get over. Like I had strep last week and I just drove to the doctor and I was fine a day later. It would be much tougher for them to find a doctor, get to a doctor, get a prescription, potentially pay for a prescription. Like there are just so many more challenges, and being here and talking to people about that really applied to like what we were talking about in class, just like gave me a firsthand experience seeing that, like how everything is a little bit harder for those who don't have a home, don't have a car, can't, it's just like you can't get to the places you need to be unless you take public transportation, and that might take hours. So
What strengths did you learn or hear of from the people that you met here? Like you're saying, some of these challenges people are overcoming.
They're really resilient and strong. Like, I don't know, just thinking like these people don't have a home. They're sleeping on the street, yet they come in here and they're happy as can be. Maggie comes in here singing every day. It's just crazy to me that they can be so upbeat and be so positive when things in their life aren't going the best.
You mentioned that the atmosphere here is a big part of what you may have not expected necessarily, or what stood out to you. What makes you feel like people feel welcome to the space? Do they feel welcome to the space? Do you have suggestions on how people could be better welcomed?
I feel like people who come here consistently feel really welcome, and they sit down and talk with Katie, talk with us. They feel comfortable sitting there for an hour and just chatting, and obviously it's a nice space for them to have if they're willing to just sit there and talk to you. And they're obviously comfortable with us in doing that. Obviously it'd be nice to have a bigger space, which you're working on, so that's not really anything you can do here. I don't really have any suggestions. I think it's really cool to see the relationships that Katie has formed with these people, because I've heard, like, I don't know, not firsthand, obviously, I don't know, but I think a lot of people have trouble trusting, like, healthcare professionals, and Katie's kind of serving as someone they can trust. Like, they can come see Katie and ask her what she thinks and have her opinion when they go into a doctor that maybe they don't trust as much as her, and I think that's really cool.
How would you suggest we could better accompany people on their journey of health? For example, would adding more hours here, being more available, or adding outreach services?
I don't know. I know, like, adding hours would maybe help, but I think people just need, like, they like having somewhere to come. Like, I don't think it would necessarily help them with their health journey with what I've seen here. It would just give them somewhere to be and someone to talk to, which I guess would maybe help with their health in the end. But, yeah, I don't know about that. I think outreach would be really cool, which Katie does that with Noah, and I see how much it's beneficial for him just to have someone who cares and someone who's going to check on him. So maybe having more of that, I don't really know. Like, Katie probably knows people that might need it, but I don't know how we would go about finding them, and it's just hard. We searched for Noah for like an hour and a half one day, so...
So you mentioned getting a better sense for the things that people work through and the challenges they experience. How has this experience changed any biases you may have had about people who are experiencing homelessness or marginally housed?
I think the class kind of did that for me to start, but this kind of solidified that. Growing up, I grew up in a rich suburb and was always told, like, oh, if you work hard, you can have a home, you can have a job, you can have a good life. But I know now, like, obviously that's not true. These people work hard every day and are trying to do their best to get themselves out of this hole and get themselves a home and a place to keep their kids. And there's just nothing they can do. So I guess that's kind of a bias that has gone away. Like, I know that even though they don't have homes, they are working hard to try and get them, and there's just factors that they can't control that makes it so they can't be stable, you know?
What, if anything, will you take forward with you from your time here?
I think wanting to be a doctor, just watching Katie's interactions with them, it kind of taught me about how I should treat patients, honestly. Like, she's just their friend first, and then she'll ask about their health just in the middle of conversation, and it's just nice to see someone who genuinely cares about the person as well as their health. And as a doctor, that's what I'm going to try to do too. So
you pretty much alluded to my next question with that. But has this experience impacted your future career ideals or personal goals? Not in just that interpersonal way.
Yeah.
Is there another?
I mean, I could definitely see myself doing outreach to, I don't know, like even in Minneapolis, but like doing medical missions, maybe having my own sort of thing, like just seeing these people and the need they have for healthcare, kind of gives me the idea that I could maybe help them someday. I don't know.
What was the most valuable part of this experience for you then?
I mean, that just getting to know people, I think making relationships and learning from everyone, no matter what, is something that is always beneficial. Like, I didn't really come in here thinking that I would learn as much as I did, but like every person I talk to has some sort of, I don't know, not even necessarily they're teaching me, but just like their attitude, their positivity, it like gives me something to think about when I get crabby about something dumb, because they are happy as can be and have much less than me. So just like being thankful for what I have and helping others as much as I can.
Is there a specific story you could share that stuck with you from your experience?
I mean, yeah. Can I use names? I have been.
Yeah,
but
just not too particular.
Yeah. The other day when